Welcome back. It's Trinity time. We're talking to you about a particular energy that you can use in your Wednesday night meditation with us. This week, the energy is equality. Equality is pretty simple energy. We've all felt the difference between I'm equal, I'm one, I'm just as good as, or I'm better than, or I'm less than, or whatever. That disparity is pretty clear. The problem is that when you're in a position of disparity, you don't know how to bring equality. When it's happening, you can go, oh yeah, I feel equal. But when it's not happening, how do you bring in the equality? Well, I discovered a big secret around equality when I was doing knife defense training in many of the self-defense classes that I took. So I want to share that with you now. If somebody is threatening you, and they have a weapon, let's say a knife, then there is this perceived sense of advantage and disadvantage. They're not looking for a fair fight. They wouldn't have brought a knife to a fight against an unarmed person unless they wanted to have this huge advantage. This is not really a fight, this is an assassination. They're thinking of getting in close and doing away with you really quickly without a lot of effort on their part. So you want to make them go through some effort. You want to make it so that this is not a sneaky assassination that they have to come right out and say it. So one of the most important things that I've found in knife defense is call out what's happening. Say, I don't see your hands. Where are your hands? Why are you hiding something? What's that in your hand? What are you doing back there? What do you got? Oh, you got a knife. She's got a knife in her right hand, everybody. Knife in the right hand. If you do that, it's still a serious situation. You still want to treat this with caution. But suddenly you don't feel that there's this huge disadvantage of they have this secret hidden weapon and you have nothing. Now you've pointed it out. They may be on camera. There may be other people looking. If you're alone in a dark alley, perhaps you made some not so great decisions to get you to that point. And that would be a separate thing that we would talk about later. But right now we're thinking that there is some sort of public around, and you've sort of leveled the table by pointing out that there is this problem and that this person is seeking an advantage. You can do this in any situation where you feel inequality. Simply point out the advantage or disadvantage that you perceive. If you think this other person knows all about you and you know nothing, just say that. Say, I'm feeling unequal here because you know so much about me and I don't know anything about you. Well, they may not tell you, but now you've stated what the advantage they have is, and you don't feel that you have to be under the thumb of it anymore. If somebody's being, very secretive or withholding or aggressive, or there's something about their personality that's very attacking to you, then you just say, I feel that you're in this position of attack, and I feel less than. Well, now you've pointed it out. You've pointed out the perceived advantage and disadvantage. It's out there on the table. It's not this big threat to you anymore, and it doesn't take away your sense of equality. This is the simplest and easiest way I've found to bring equality, is simply call out the advantage or disadvantage that you see between you and whatever the situation is. Now, if you actually do have some sort of knife incident and you have to defend yourself and you've called it out and nobody's looking and it's just you and the knife, there's a whole bunch of things you should know before you get into this. One little segment with me is not going to prepare you, but I will tell you this, that you want to be all the way in or all the way out. If it is at all possible for you to get away without this person chasing you down and stabbing you if you think you're faster, get out. Get all the way out. If that's not an option, get all the way in. Smother this knife as much as possible. I'm going to turn it a little bit here. 2 hands of yours to 1 hand of theirs, and then get in tight like that. They'll probably try and do something with the other hand, but from here, you can knee, you can bite, you can headbutt, you can kick, you can do all sorts of things. But you want to get in and smother that knife with both hands if you can. That's the only advice I have to give you other than stay away from knife encounters. But in the process of learning this, I hope you felt a little bit of how you bring some equality to an unequal situation. If you find this stuff helpful, stay tuned for more Trinity.